Today, we are going to go over how to read the 3 chart placements, Sun, Rising, and Midheaven, as a career and life design roadmap and tapestry that weaves your life as it relates to astrology. And we're going to give you some insight using tarot pools and your intuition, as well as going over some everyday energy hygiene hacks like breath work, crystals, micro reiki, to stay grounded during high stakes decisions. Today's guest is Niki Rae Allen, founder of Niki Rae Astrology and creator of the Soul Strategy, a framework where grounded guidance meets soul-aligned wisdom. Before charting stars, Niki spent more than a decade in corporate risk management and insurance, sharpening an analytical edge and earning a master's in communications with a focus on research and statistics. That data-driven mindset now fuels her mystical toolkit, transformational coaching, Western astrology, tarot, reiki, yoga, and crystal energy work. A graduate of Deborah Silverman's Applied Astrology School, Niki treats the birth chart like a personal blueprint and an executive dashboard, helping purpose-driven clients turn cosmic cues into practical strategy. Whether you're a spiritual seeker or an open-minded skeptic, her sessions are no fluff, just real transformation designed to meet you exactly where you are. Through one-on-one coaching, intuitive readings, and custom programs, Niki guides people through life transitions, clarifies next steps, and creates meaningful momentum. Her multidimensional approach even extends to animal companions, offering energy support to dogs and cats for whole house harmony. I love it. Rooted in intuition, backed by strategy, and built for lasting change, Niki also channels creativity into writing, visual design, and intentional artwork, proving that practical and mystical can coexist beautifully. Niki, thank you for coming to talk to us today. I am so excited to get started with this. You just bring such a wealth of knowledge in various modalities, and the way that they kind of meld together is really, really cool. So we're going to just start kind of with the beginning and then kind of work our way in. So I would ask you this: what moment flipped the switch from corporate risk manager to astrology strategist?
I know. So many people are like, well, that's just
A shift.
2 different ends of the spectrum, right? So really, I'm very highly analytical, as you introduced me, and thank you for having me today. My brain and my analytical brain never shuts off. I have an astrological placement that is really pronounced. It is not my sun, moon, rising, or midheaven, which is kind of shocking to a lot of people. And it's always driven my car. I always say, like, I was never the driver of the car of my life. It was always my Mercury placement, which is really strong. So that's your communication planet, and the planet in my chart that is just so predominant. And so my career really centered around that placement. And, I was really, really good at that. And I was excelled. I was a super achiever, all of those things. But my soul was really empty, and my soul was really sad. Mm-hmm. And I kept thinking, there has to be more. There has to be something else. And I've always loved the spiritual side of life, but that was always like in the closet.
Yeah.
That's not something I would share with all of my analytical people at work and all of that. So the switch finally was like, it just came to a bubble and a breaking point where it was like, I don't want to not be authentic to myself anymore. Mm-hmm. And not that I can't utilize, and I love my strategic and my research and that whole side of me, and I do lean into that still quite a bit. But just bringing that with me. Yes. But maybe it needs to be in the back seat of the car and allow me to drive and utilize those other placements of mine that are really strong with intuition and just knowing things, but being very learned about things, but then being able to share and help people with some of the deeper subjects. Yeah.
Gosh, that's beautiful. I love that. And it's becoming the whole version of you, right?
Yes.
It's taking those pieces of you that were in the front seat, but you realized that's not really the front seat material for me. And then
at this moment in life.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of astrology is you can always lean into those other pieces.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
But you need to be in charge.
Yes. I love that. Yeah. Okay. Now, how did your master's in communications shape the way you now interpret cosmic data?
Yeah. So again, I'm really thankful to that piece of me. So I really have a process of how I go through, birth charts, and I pull up several other different charts, not just the birth chart, obviously. And then it starts to just create this story. So like, we'll get into your chart later, and there's some really yummy juiciness there that I think you're going to be just so excited about.
I might cry.
I know, right? So then once I use that research, all that strategy and the foundational pieces of me, I think that they almost feel like happy, so they can calm down and like let the other parts of me then like kind of do the alchemy, so to speak, and start seeing these different storylines and different things just start like rising out of it. So I can be like, hey, Katie,
wow,
does this resonate? How does this feel? Do you know this about you? Do you feel that? Do you know that's available to you? Because your birth chart is always available.
Yes.
But what pieces and parts are you utilizing?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it's
just
exciting.
like a window into the soul that people may not have been able to explore on their own.
Yes.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
and depending on environment, what you're going through in life.
For sure.
But sometimes knowing that that's available to you, and maybe it's something you haven't tapped into since you were a child. So it's really a great reminder sometimes for my clients where it's like, wow, yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I used to love to paint. And coming back to that sometimes is really just so helpful and healing.
I guess you see a lot of aha moments.
Yes.
Or even just like dropped shoulders, like, oh, that's why I feel like this all the time,
Right.
or whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, things just become a little bit more crystal clear.
Yes.
Okay, so walk us through your soul strategy framework.
Yes. So through all of my different studies and the things that I've done and astrology readings, it came to me that it was something I'm always like, oh, well, she had that aha moment, and we discussed these different action steps. And then I would sit back and go, well, I wonder if she's ever done that or whatever. And a lot of my mentors would be like, I'd ask them like, well, when do I follow up, or what should I do? And it would be like, well, no, you've done what they wanted you to do. You provided them a reading, and this is the time you cut the cord and, release. And if they do what they wanted to do, they will. And free will, there's always free will.
Right.
And that was always something that, it didn't bother me, but I felt like there was something more. So in developing this, it's a coaching process, because I know my clients want transformation, but to get to that transformation, it can't just be a one and done.
Right.
There needs to be
Follow
accountability, follow through. So what the Soul Strategy is, it's a 6-session transformational coaching series, and it's designed to help my clients align with their soul's purpose. So we dig into activating core desires. It's okay to have desires. That's how you evolve, you grow. So that's super important. And then we work on raising that energetic vibration.
Yeah.
So the universe can't bring you.
So that you can get some help externally when you're trying to push for things, but you can get.
Yes. And the universe can't respond with something even greater than we can imagine if we're down on ourselves all the time.
Right.
Because you're closing yourself off to that.
Right.
And of course, releasing limiting beliefs, which we all have. We're human. Yeah. Being human is messy.
Yeah.
So it's getting through that process. And of course, aligning with purpose. What is it, and how are we driving, and how do we get there?
Yeah.
Super important. And then taking intuitive action. I really love supporting my clients developing their own intuition. I mean, that's one of my biggest goals, is like, how do you start trusting yourself more?
Yeah.
And there's so much untapped potential for us as humans.
Preach.
Right? And that's what my analytical mind, I knew there had to be more. I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, what we use 10% of our brains or something. Okay, I want to tap into more of that other stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And then, of course, we're manifesting along the way and working towards, getting to those desires and making those dreams reality. And then, of course, we celebrate all the wins. So that's really the framework that I've put together to really create real change in my clients' lives.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're using your astrological blueprint and tarot and visualizations and crystals and journaling. And it's obviously custom, but the framework, which I love, because that's what my analytical brain loves, but then we create custom sessions along the way.
Well, and it sounds like this framework gives you something to be able to show the transformation too. It's
Absolutely.
like, okay, on this point, we can show that you achieved this, and on this point, and you can kind of go through what that looked like in retrospect of like a person's journey. That's
Absolutely.
really neat. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So speaking at a high level and not too detailed, how do you combine tarot in addition to astrology to pinpoint next steps for people?
Yes. Great question. I really love, number one, I love a daily card pull.
Me too.
Okay.
I don't do tarot. I do Oracle.
Yeah, Oracle's great as well. I have
Uh-huh.
an Oracle deck as well in my bag. I have one that I think is really friendly for anyone who is maybe not currently working with a deck. Colette Baron Reed.
Oh, yes.
Her,
Yeah.
I'll pull it out in a second.
Sure.
It's her original Oracle deck. And then there's a lot of other tarot decks that are really friendly. I brought the Lightseer. It's a very friendly deck that I absolutely love. And so I love doing a daily card pull. And the other thing I would suggest is my absolute favorite 3-card, very simple, you don't have to get fancy and do hour-long readings, is a 3-card pull of what should I be doing more of, what should I be doing less of, and what would be the outcome if I follow that, or if sometimes I'll do what is the universe's message for me?
Okay.
What do I need to hear?
Okay.
And that can be so powerful when you're getting stuck, like with a business decision, or things seem to be stagnant, in your
Or
business
even
isn't growing.
relationships too.
It works for everything.
Right.
And it's so simple. And then just, everybody's like, oh, I have to memorize all the card meanings and I have to look it up. No, you don't. You can utilize the artwork and the card and you really need to tap in, what does that mean to me?
Right.
That's where the message is.
Yes, and I'll just speak to this a little bit because I'm not a memorizer of the Oracle decks. I actually work with 2 decks. One is 3 decks. Divine Masters, Angels, and Archangels. And I certainly don't memorize all of them, but I do pool every morning for guidance for that day. I read the description, and I read it as I read the Bible or anything else where it's like, what does this mean to me, and how can how can this influence my day to day? So I think that's a really great distinction that you made for people that, anybody can jump into this and look at this. Although people, I guess, who maybe want to go further with it, with like offering readings to people, would need to become more intimate with the cards and, really know their stuff a little bit more and not necessarily have to look through the book, as they're giving a reading.
Right.
But anyway, okay. Well, that's very cool. And if time allows, we may do a little card pull. We'll see. Okay, so share a client case where astrological advice made a lasting impact on the client, or if you have more than one, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So I definitely have more than one story, but one I want to speak to in particular. So I tend to attract clients that are like myself, like very analytically based, but mystically curious. Okay.
That may be why we came together.
Right?
I mean, that's so funny.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
And so what I see is the same thing. Like their souls are they're so unhappy. They feel like their souls are literally being sucked out of them.
Yes.
With particularly like a financial job or a corporate job where they're just like, oh, I got to go back into the office and do these spreadsheets. I think I'm just going to curl up in a corner and die.
I'm remembering a couple of years ago when I was in that space. So, yeah.
And so what we find is that I can speak to 2 clients in particular that I'm thinking of, similar circumstances, both in the financial world, both really disliked being in the financial world, were very good at their jobs. I mean, it's not that they were both super achievers, actually. But they both had side interests that were their passion, like just really passionate. So one has a huge passion for plants, for houseplants. So he literally now, we worked through a couple of new moons that were really auspicious for him, and Jupiter, who we call Santa Claus. So genie in the bottle, your wish is my command, depending on where Jupiter is transiting through your chart. So where Jupiter is up in the sky currently, that's where the luck is in your chart.
Okay.
So if you know how to pull your chart, I use Placidus. We don't have to get into all the details there. But if you do know how to pull your chart, pull it with the transits and just look for that little, it looks like a symbol, it looks like a 4. That's Jupiter. And that's where your luck is currently in your chart. So he stays in a sign about a year. So right now he's moved into Cancer. And, we looked at where that was. And he actually was having his Jupiter return, which is Jupiter is lining up to where Jupiter was when he was born. And so I was like, hey, are you kidding? This is like, your wish is my command. So he launched a couple big plant sales. He does things online. And his business just completely took off.
Wow.
He is no longer in the financial world. He is very entrepreneurial. So he runs many, many different things, not just the plant business, but he does just supportive administrative help for people. He makes his own hours. He literally is his own boss, and it just speaks to his soul.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's super, super happy.
Wow. Yeah. That's great. And that must feel so good to your soul, to your heart, when you're able to guide that transition for people.
Yes.
And I'm sure you probably feel like, you are just a guide. It's like, okay,
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling and what, your chart says or what the card pool says or your internal voice. But beyond that,
Well, and it's all free will.
Yes.
I mean, we're human. We're messy. We can decide to just sit home on the couch and eat bonbons and do nothing.
Right.
The universe is going to respond and do nothing.
Right. Or we can continue to feed our limiting beliefs and think, I've got to stay in this corporate job because it's paying the bills and this is what I've always known, and all of those voices that are in our head saying, what, am I crazy to, go off this ledge and try this new thing? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So we talked a little bit about tarot and we've talked just a little bit about astrology. So I guess we could get into you telling me a little bit about my chart. So just full disclosure, Niki's had a moment to look at my chart in advance. I have no idea what's about to happen. So, but I am joyfully expecting good things.
Yay.
So let's see what and I think we'll keep it at high level.
Yes.
I'm seeing this chart. I got to show you this craziness. So there's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot of knowledge that she's got, that goes into this. And so it's not just as easy as saying, oh, well, you're, an Aquarius with, I don't even know. I'm an Aquarius sun. And a Libra rising, and my moon is in
Scorpio.
But she's probably like, I don't even care about that. I'm going to get into some other stuff.
There's so many layers here.
Yeah, so I'll just let you go with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So as you know, your sun is in Aquarius, your moon is in Scorpio, and you're Libra rising. So definitely you have a lot of air in those 3. So that's the big 3, the 3 pillars of any birth chart. And I'm curious if sometimes you can get lost in spiraling thoughts. Does that resonate with you?
Yes.
And sometimes it's super deep subjects that maybe other people might not understand. So.
I seriously just got full body chills. Yes.
Right?
I'm like, I will go deep on things and I won't even tell people anymore because I'm like, they're just not gonna yeah, and they're not going to want to go to those deep levels with me.
With you. So, and your midheaven, which is the point of opening your business house. So we all have 12 houses.
Okay.
The midheaven opens that door.
Okay.
So it's the door to the 10th house of business.
Okay.
Business, legacy, how you want to be remembered in this lifetime. So your midheaven is in Cancer, which is a water sign, but it is a cardinal water sign. So when you say water sign, people go, oh, tears, emotions, all of that. Yes, okay, yes, of course. But Cancer is the mama bear.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
compassionate leader. It's also leader energy. So you're the opposite, there's always opposites. So Cancer and Capricorn share that opposition. So Capricorn sits in your childhood home because it's in opposition to your midheaven. So we always go from the childhood to sprout into the midheaven, into the business, into what the world, the persona of the world is going to receive from you. So curious, just a few questions about childhood. Did you feel that you had to mature quickly, or you were really responsible at a young age?
Yes.
That resonates?
Yes.
Okay. So bringing that with you into your business world, for my Cancer midheavens, they're typically you want everyone to be your family. Like you feel like you want to help everyone.
Yes.
Because the human condition, you've been through a lot, particularly with a Scorpio moon, with Uranus is like holding hands with your moon, which means you've been kind of birthed and reborn in very much the Phoenix rising more than once. And that's what gives you the ability to, in your midheaven, to help others with those types of experiences that they may not be able to really handle on their own.
Right.
So when we look at the midheaven being Cancer, you're a Libra rising. So Libra rules relationships. Libra rules beauty. It's ruled by Venus. So we'll get to that point in just one moment. But because Libra is so good in wanting relationship, when I look at your chart and your purpose is in Virgo, that would be Saturn. So we look at Saturn as the high school principal. It's saying, Katie, your purpose in this life is service towards others. And you're going to do that by being the mama bear to people to get through these tougher transitions because you do it so well, bringing that care of all of relationships, all of being able to relate to people, you bring that into the mix. Does that resonate?
This is amazing.
Does that resonate for you?
It does. It not only resonates, but it also confirms for me. Yes.
Yes. And so all of that just really gets interesting because there are 2 points that I always look at. Well, there's lots of things I look at, but 2 really radiate.
Okay.
Like transit-wise for you. Number 1, in the birth chart, you have Jupiter in your 10th house. So whatever you do for business, you have luck with you.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
so like, yes, I would be like, yes, please. I would love that. And the other thing is that service to others, that high school principal is like, Katie, you must be in something and your purpose is service to others. It's in your house, the 11th house, which is the house of community. It's the house of the internet. It's the house of broadcasting.
This is insane.
Yes, okay, so I needed to connect to the 11th house. Aquarius.
You're not just making this
No,
up.
it's right here. Aquarius rules the 11th house.
Okay.
So that Aquarian energy that you already obviously have from your sun, it carries into your purpose in this life. And it's so interesting to me with all the things that I know that you're like doing and you know, the community that you're starting and all the things, or you've got going actually. So then I was pulling like the progress moon, which is another layer of astrology. No one really needs to know astrology to understand this. Just think of that as putting on a pair of glasses. And so right now, the glasses that you have on are Leo glasses.
Okay.
So Leo's fire, Leo's passionate.
Okay. Leo's go get 'em.
Leo's like, let's go do this. I'm going to shine.
Yeah,
I'm going to do all the things. And what's so interesting to me is literally Leo moon is in your 10th house of business. And then I want to, everybody hang with me here for a moment. The new moon in Virgo, which is going to be August 23rd. It would be I would be a terrible astrologer if I did not bring this up to you.
Okay.
August 23rd, 1:07 a.m. Central Time. That new moon in Virgo is going to be in your 11th house, that same house of connecting, community, internet, broadcast. that your life purpose is in. Okay? New moon, new beginning.
Okay.
New moon, new opportunity.
Okay.
New moon, what do you want to manifest
Okay.
for your purpose in life?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right.
Service to others, connecting internet broadcast community. But what I find even more interesting to tie all that in there is your progress moon literally will be entering your 11th house at the same time.
Okay, and break that one down
Okay,
for
so
me.
progress moon is you're getting to experience, it's a very powerful 2.5-year transit.
Okay.
So every sign has 30 degrees, so 0 to 29 is how it's broken down in astrology. So you'll be at 15 degrees Leo, your progress moon, and it gives you the ability to feel the emotional side of Leo. You always have your birth chart. That never changes.
Right.
So this is just laying another layer on
Okay.
top of everything else. So those Leo colored glasses. So you're about halfway through it. So it was in your business house. So that passion, that drive, wanting to get your business going or whatever you wanted to expand in your business, it's now moving into that house of community, internet, and all of that.
Okay.
With the new moon. So I use Placidus.
Wow.
So half of your 11th house is in Leo and half of it is in Virgo.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why your moon, your progress moon was in the 10th house and now the 11th.
Okay. So practically speaking,
Yes.
around that time, or I guess even now leading up to that time, setting intentions for
Yes.
how
What
I
you
want
want to manifest.
Okay.
So I would say because of what your business is, for me, I would be setting intentions around manifesting business because really the 11th house, you almost have like a 10-11 house. Like it's almost a blurred line between the houses.
Okay. What does that mean? A 10-11 house?
So 10th house is business legacy. 11th house is that community internet.
Okay.
But because your business kind of is the community internet, I feel like your 10th and 11th house are kind of a combined for both.
Okay.
Because
it's so wild.
Right? Yours are like right on top of each other.
That's so wild. Okay.
Yeah. And the other thing I really love about your chart and all the things that you're doing is you have to go and look. Like Libra is ruled by Venus. Your natal Venus in your birth chart is in Sagittarius, which is the fire sign of, I want to learn and expand in different cultures and different ideas and different perspectives. And it's the forever student that becomes the mentor in the highest octave. And it's in the 3rd house. So 3rd house is ruled by Gemini. Gemini is the podcaster. Gemini is the talker. Gemini is the one that wants to relate to people.
Okay.
So, having your chart ruler, because Venus rules Libra. Libra is your rising. So we always look to the rising sign to say, like, what is her chart? Give me some more depth on that. We look to the planet that rules the rising. So when we look at that, we're like, wow, it's in Sagittarius, which is very much the fire of all the things that we want to do. And what I find very cool about your chart is Sagittarius and Gemini, as we spoke before about Cancer and Capricorn, they're in opposition. Gemini and Sagittarius are in opposition. So you bring a...
Hey there, thanks for watching. This is Katie Marietta Tondon with Lit Up. And the interview that you are watching, it's not over yet, so keep on watching. There's a lot more gems coming in the second part. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to invite you to the free community that we have available. The details will be in the description on how you can join. But essentially, we're building a community for spiritual seekers and lightworker practitioners who need to go through this thing together. We need to explain what's going on. Sometimes things that we're experiencing we can't really discuss with other people who don't understand fully. And we're creating a welcoming and open space to get it all out. And also, if there are any gifts or intuitive abilities that you want to work on practicing, you can do it in this space as well. So consider joining the Lit Up community and look at the description for the details there. Thanks again for watching, and let's get back to it.
So you bring a balance just within your chart in each of your placements.
Wow.
Yeah, so beautiful.
That's really, really cool. It's just cool to like get the confirmation for all of the things that I feel and, am driven toward. And like, I've really just kind of over the past couple of years only just followed my internal compass, which means whatever makes me feel expansive and whatever I feel called to. And there's more backstory there about the calling and the purpose work. Yes. But just diving more and more into like what naturally lights me up. My company's lit up. But like diving more into that, and it hits those areas. Is like whenever I'm meeting with like-minded people, I'm just like, oh, this is what I need to be doing, and it feels so great and expansive. So it's just confirmation.
And one more 11th house thing to like tell you you're exactly where you're meant to be. Is anyone that is, you're 46 currently, is that okay to say online?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
The 46 year is an 11th house year for everybody. So anyone that's 46, that's a whole nother layer.
Okay.
It is an 11th house year. So
meaning
the themes,
that's a good year for your business, business.
Well, for the 11th house. So broadcast, community.
Oh, okay.
And your business happens to be all those things. Right. So for anyone that's 46, that year typically will bring 11th house themes into their life. So that's just one more layer. That just kind of gives me the chills, like all the things you're doing.
That's amazing.
And then the fact that this new moon that's coming up on the 23rd of August is going to land in your 11th house.
Okay.
So it's like you have so much activation there.
Okay.
And it's no wonder you're feeling super, you are an Aquarius sun, but it's like no wonder you're feeling so Aquarian because Aquarius rules the 11th house.
Yeah. Well, I definitely feel like things are starting to happen for me now versus trying so hard. Like it's kind of like the energy has shifted in what I'm doing to where it's not so much me, the 3D version of me, like pushing toward it. It's more so like an allowing,
like a flow, maybe.
Yeah. It feels more flow.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, that is really intriguing
Very
to hear.
exciting.
And you can hear like all of the knowledge behind all of it, because when you're talking about all the different signs and all, their placements and all this, to me, it's like I'm listening to some Greek episode, whatever. But then you put it into the practical of, what this means for you and, how this shows up in your life and stuff like that. That's really,
and the
really
opportunity
cool.
for you there.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm sure you probably do some readings where maybe things are not quite so aligned.
Of course.
And so then, there's some redirect and...
and when there's things like that, a lot of times we'll do a tarot reading. Like, hey, what should I be doing more of? What should I be doing less of? And what's the message from the universe? Or we can even, there's so many different tarot spreads to work with. And it just depends. Again, it's customized. It depends on what's really landing with the client and what they're going through.
Right.
Because maybe it is relationship. Maybe it's not work. I do a lot of work with people that are very business-minded, as I've said. And I failed to mention that, you're going to have Santa Claus coming around the corner too, right by your Midheaven. The luck.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that like a certain time?
Yeah, August 12th. You're gonna have Jupiter conjunct your Midheaven, so that you have a lot of
August is big for me.
Yumminess.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. I feel like I'm just gonna. And after this, I'm gonna go like really set my intentions and utilize this. Yeah, it feels like an opportunity. That's really cool.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
Okay. Like, I have to tell you about all this stuff, otherwise, oh my goodness.
Well, and it helps so much because it's also what I need to hear right now, because having a startup business is
It's a lot of work.
grueling, and there's not a lot of wins along the way.
Right.
So hearing it kind of gives me a little bit more fire.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so that's really helpful. Okay. Oh, okay. So I really want to talk about your work with pets because I just find that so intriguing.
It's so yummy.
And I know that certain people have the ability to communicate with pets. I feel like I communicate with my cat, but that's just...
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure you do.
But tell me about what your energy work for pets has looked like, and if you have any experiences where that has helped with household harmony.
Absolutely. So it's really interesting. I find that animals respond probably quicker than humans do to energy work, if that makes sense.
Okay.
If they're open to it.
Because maybe they're more sensitive
I believe
to it?
so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So just being in a room with an animal, let me rewind. So going to a house that has multiple pets, maybe there's been some conflict, especially if there's like dogs and cats.
Right.
And I really resonate with dogs. I'm personally like a dog lover. So I wasn't really sure how the cat thing was going to work out for me, but I was open and, you know, all the things. And it was interesting. Cats really respond to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like really pleasantly surprised. And
Yeah.
I have like a whole new like perspective of cats now.
Okay, cool.
I literally had a cat that hardly ever comes out, come right to me, even like rub on me. And the owners were like, whoa, what, how did that happen?
Right.
And it's just the Reiki energy.
Yeah.
So what my experience with working with animals, if they're open to it and want it, you let them come to you. Like you don't walk up, like with a human, you know, you're like, oh, okay, we're doing this, and then I'm going to do this.
Right.
And, you know, you communicate verbally. Well, with animals, it's really on their terms. So with that cat, and then I was like, oh, okay, is this going to be okay? And then you just move rather slowly. I do not use crystals with animals.
Okay.
It's just too, I feel like it's too much for them.
Okay.
It's just, you know, because their
Right.
senses are so high anyway.
Gotcha.
I've read so many things that some people are like, oh yeah, I put a quartz crystal on my cat's collar and it like freaked it out and all the things. And I'm like, I just think that that's too much. So just working with them, giving them Reiki energy, and kind of just with the mind, like, hey, and you can speak it too, but like with your cat, you can do this. Like, this is where everything's practical, and I don't like when mystical people try to make it like, you have to come to me, and I'm the only one that can do this. Yeah, no, I do not believe that. My job and role is to say, yes, Katie, you should try this with your cat. Like, hey, you know, does this feel good? You know, and is this what you need? And then just if you focus, and of course I'll do Reiki, you know, Reiki symbols and stuff, but like, hey, is this what you need? And it doesn't have to be on the part of the body that's hurting or any of that. Energy always finds where it needs to go.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, does that feel good? And when you're done, then just walk away. It's okay, you know. And it's just amazing that particular cat like wanted more, and then just kind of just did its little like walk away and like just such a little pissy little way.
That is how they walk.
You know,
away.
and I was like, wow, okay. And then I kept and that's with a multiple animal home. That's the one that seemed to want the healing or the therapy, or I guess.
So the other animals did not.
Nope, they didn't approach. Though one of the dogs I have worked with at a different time, and I kept up with the owners. I'm like, well, has anything improved? They're like, yeah, like they're not scrapping the way they were, because it was getting rather a lot of tension. And then that same cat would have, you know, wounds from the situation and have to wear a neck thing. So the wounds were healing faster, and those types of things. So just the harmony, and it's not like I'm like talking to the cat like, what did he do to you?
Yeah.
What? I'm going to go talk to him too. No, it's literally just an energetic exchange.
Yeah, right.
So I'd encourage you to do that with your cat.
So it's also for you more so trusting that, if an animal approaches you, that they are willing to receive, and then also trusting that whatever it is that you're giving to them is going to meet the need that they have.
Absolutely.
Because you don't necessarily know what that need is. It's not like the cat is saying, I'm getting wounded by the dog.
Right,
and,
right.
But yeah, you're just trusting that
Absolutely.
I'm going to give this positive energy and it's going to do the work that it needs to do.
100%.
Very cool. Because I do know, there are people who do really communicate with animals and know like what the animal is saying to them. And
Right.
like especially like nonverbal autistic people, a lot of them have that ability.
I don't have that ability.
Right.
I mean, this is my experience, but that's so cool.
But that's good to make that distinction that you don't need to have that ability. You can still do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay. So now we're going to get a little bit into like collective impact and like how this stuff could, just make a larger impression. Where do you see astrology fitting into future workplace wellness programs? Now, this is, a bit futuristic because right now we're in a sick care model and we're talking about a well care model that could include spiritual practices, which is not something that is seen today. But, I'm Aquarius. I'm a little bit futuristic. I'm a little bit like, well, what if? So do you see that being a possibility? And like, how could our practitioners like lead that charge and that happening?
Yeah, I love that. And Aquarius is very much think outside the box. Visionary. How can I make things better, but not just for self, but for community.
Right.
So absolutely, that role is so needed. And we've moved into Pluto, has moved into Aquarius. So we're out of that Capricorn, stay, work, 900 hours a week, bill it out, all of that. So hopefully we are moving more into an Aquarian mindset. And I would love to see that because I do believe astrology could be so helpful in the business world. Everything from, like I spoke of earlier, like my Mercury, it's in Virgo. Okay, it's in home in Virgo because it rules Virgo. Virgo rules, Mercury is at home in Virgo. So knowing that, I like chaos to be in order, okay? I like order. So if I'm working with someone who, say their Mercury is in Pisces, they're going to be like very artistic and maybe like they don't necessarily like their order is definitely not going to line up with my order. So knowing those two people working together on a team, you kind of would really be helpful.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's kind of like companies that do like Enneagram or MBTI.
It's so similar.
It is. Yeah. It's just taking into account your chart, your astrology.
And I feel like, what's your love language?
Yes.
Okay, that's just, in my opinion, that's just astrology dressed up for the masses.
Yeah,
okay?
Just generalized into
let's
these
just,
little buckets.
Let's just paint it so like people
can accept it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You said it.
But we're going to get to the place where people open up to this kind of reality that there's so much more that goes back to your 90% of our brain that we're not
tapping into.
Yeah.
I want my untapped potential.
That's right.
Because it can like catapult me into something great.
That's right.
I also believe like launching new businesses, new ideas, new products. The new moon and knowing if that's auspicious new moon, as yours is going to be August 23rd. Okay. There's some that aren't going to be. Like if, you were going to launch something and it's maybe in your 12th house, which is not a bad house, but it's like the unknown or something, you're, uncovering things that maybe you weren't aware of about yourself or whatever. I mean, for me, that wouldn't be the most auspicious time to launch a new product, new service. New service. But, a new moon lined up with my 10th house or my second house of money, maybe, or Jupiter's holding hands with the new moon. Okay, yeah, of course.
You'll know when the alignment is right.
And knowing and looking at that, I think, would be something some businesses do, but not the mainstream.
Right.
Definitely not.
It's not something I've ever heard of, a
No.
business saying, well, first let me check the chart.
Right.
Which, gosh, could we prevent so many mishaps? And
my view is always like, well, if it doesn't hurt,
right.
why not?
Right.
That is like, I think I'm going to put that like my slogan. If it doesn't hurt, why not?
Yeah, I love that.
Right.
Yeah, because none of this will hurt anything if you just have a little bit more knowledge.
Right. Or at least take it into consideration, right?
Yeah. Very cool. I love that. We're just going to keep envisioning the future and make it so.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's give a few low-cost tools that listeners can deploy today to align daily plans with cosmic rhythms. What's some things that people could practically do?
Absolutely. There's so many things. So I, of course, love crystals. I brought you a blue kyanite, which is my all-time favorite of my whole life.
Get that closer. It's beautiful. Yeah.
It never needs to be cleansed. I always feel, and if it resonates for everybody, do what resonates for you. But I feel left hand is the receiving hand of energy, and right hand is the giving hand of energy. So the blue kyanite, really, you can pick this up for less than $5. I'm sure I buy it by the pound usually because I give it away to people a lot.
Gotcha.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It balances your chakras.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're ever in that really frazzled state,
yes, I'm in that state a lot.
Yeah,
where I'm having to reminding myself, nervous system, we are okay.
Nervous system, ground down.
Yes.
Taking 3 deep breaths. I like to go in, even if you don't have a stone, 3 deep breaths in through the nose, hard sigh out through the mouth.
Yes.
Drop the shoulders, the jaw.
Unclench.
So 3, just any breath work that you give yourself 1 minute to do can really reset your nervous system.
Yes.
It can do just miracles for when you're in that time where you're like, oh my God, I have this decision, or
I'm late for
I'm
this.
late, or any time where you just get so frazzled. It's so difficult to, and you don't want to do it. That's when you need to do it.
Ooh, good point.
Absolutely. And then definitely the crystals. I also love selenite is another crystal. Very calming. I actually have one by my bedside stand. And
I have one in every corner of the home.
Yep, every corner of the home for
cleansing.
And calming.
Yeah.
I love to hold that before I go to sleep. The same thing. Or sometimes I'll put it on my chest.
To reset before you sleep. Okay.
Or even, again, if you have 3 minutes and you want to just try to do a calming meditation or even just blank mind calming, selenite is wonderful and supports that very much. Labradorite that we spoke of earlier. I think I'm sitting on it because I love mine so much.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I'm very drawn to labradorite.
This one's going to be hard to see,
but it's just so beautiful how it changes in the light. Yeah, I love them.
Intuition.
Okay.
So this is very much connects you.
Okay.
So if you're like, okay, I need to hone in on that, maybe before you speak, maybe before you're going to start a new project,
or before a meeting,
you
need to know what the other person or people are really thinking, and
So definitely there. I do very much like a grounding meditation, and even if it's 2 minutes, like where you're seated, you're really in touch with like your feet are on the ground, your seat is really connected, you're feeling very grounded, and you're just like, okay, I'm feeling my seat, feeling my feet, I'm taking that deep breath. Mother Nature is holding me, I am safe, I'm confident. I'm getting hugged by this world, by Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling all of that in the heart, the throat, the third eye. Just a beautiful ball of light is encasing me. And then it is bringing a cord down into the earth. And that safety and security is always there for me. And I can come back to this feeling, this embodiment, anytime I want.
Mm.
And then just taking a few deep breaths and come back out of that, fluttering open your eyes. And welcome
Yes.
back. It helps you so much.
It really does. It does. It puts a weight to you. Or, I mean, that's what I felt was just,
Brings you back down. Because we get so heady.
Yes.
And when this starts going,
Mm-hmm.
it really creates anxiety.
Yeah.
And without anchoring that back down, it's like a kite. If you don't anchor the kite, it's going to fly away.
Yes.
And that
Or it's just going to be
doesn't
going
serve that doesn't
crazy.
serve anyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I love that visual, that analogy. Okay, so those are some practical ways that people can ground daily. I love that. Do you have anything else that you wanted to share there
Yeah,
before?
so
Okay.
I also, and we'll share this in the notes or however you share, there are so many different things depending on how people lean into their different birth chart placements. There are so many different things like Aries. Aries is fire. Aries is the fire starter. And any of my clients that have strong Aries placements, the first thing I say is, do you regularly exercise? Even if it's jumping jacks, like push-ups, running in place, it doesn't matter.
Get that energy
You've
out.
got to get that energy out because if you were swallowing, I say swallowing, if you're not exercising, you're swallowing that fire
Yeah.
and it's going to come out somehow. And you want it
Maybe
to come
when you're
out
with
with
your
exercise, not setting the house on fire,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Like it's going to come out like a volcano if you're not
Yeah.
getting regular exercise.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, Taurus is also ruled by Venus. So Taurus is the earth part of Venus, though. Libra is the air part of Venus. So Taurus really likes the yummy side, the chocolate, the blanket, grounding down more into the earthly pleasures.
Okay.
So it's really important. Most of my clients that have strong Taurus placements, they like the fluffy. They like the cozy blanket, the cup of tea, coffee, whatever, and taking that 2 to 5 minutes to just ground into that is super powerful for them. So,
And that can be so easy.
right?
So easy.
So easy.
Just carry around your little,
Your little favorite mug, your slippers. You work
Yeah.
from home. Make sure you have your cozies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's so good for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely share that
Absolutely.
in the notes. Okay.
That would be
I
perfect.
love that. Well, I think before we get to lightning round, what do you think? Do you, as far as a tarot pool, do you want to do a pool for me or do you want to do it for the audience? Just like a general.
That's up to you. What do you think?
I think for the audience.
Okay,
would
do you
be
want to
great.
just do a one card?
Sure.
Let's just do a one card.
Okay.
Okay, so what energy does the universe have for us today on this podcast? Let's see. Okay. Ooh, 7 of Wands. Beautiful. Okay, so 7 of Wands, and this is my little pocket deck. This is so interesting because this message I think is more for me. This is the card of the exact date of my birthday, August 21st.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I love this deck. This is the Light Seers deck. If anyone is interested in tarot, this is a beautiful deck that isn't as, the Rider Waite. The deck, if you really want to learn tarot, that is what the imagery is, a lot of the standard that you should learn from that first. But this deck I find to be really, softer, easier, imagery. So, so the 7 of Wands, keep going. Keep going. Wands are passion, wands are fire. don't give up, keep going, and that, your time's coming. You're doing all the right things. I love the imagery here. There's the bubble that I just talked about with the little grounding meditation that we did, and that she's listening to her inner spirit, and that keep going, perseverance.
Love that. Beautiful.
Align with your passion and have perseverance.
Yes, that's the best advice.
Right.
All right, so then we'll get into lightning round. We've got a couple of questions for you that we'll run through. Okay. What is one planet you would personify as your board chair?
I think I spoke to this earlier. It's definitely my Mercury. It's in Virgo, and Pluto is sitting right on top of it. So when you have a conjunction of an outer planet, like Pluto, Neptune, planets like that, on any of your inner planets are your personal, like your personality, your personal traits. So Venus, Mars, Mercury, they really change the flavor.
Okay.
Pluto is the planet of transformation. Pluto is power. So when you plot Pluto right down on top of Mercury, it just makes it like so much stronger.
Okay.
So Mercury is obviously not my sun, moon, or rising, but Mercury wants to drive my car all the time.
Okay.
All the time. And I literally have to tell myself, okay, yes, I love you, but you need to get in the passenger seat. And if you don't get in the passenger seat, I'm going to have to put you in the back seat.
Okay, is that the analytical?
That's the analytical,
okay.
yes, sorry.
I was like, how does that show up for you?
It's like, we need to have these 22 things done before you can even think about doing a meditation. Meditation's a waste of time. Why are you doing that? That's like for babies. That's like stupid. And then I have to say, no. That's more like Pisces, where my North Node is, where I'm stretching to become. And I love you. You're helping me create foundations in my business. You help me put together the soul strategy. I love you. But you need to take a break because we need to have some of this Pisces energy driving now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's really nice that you have that example for yourself, that it's not one of your main ones. And
I never understood it.
Uh-huh.
So literally, I went my entire childhood thinking I was switched at birth because I didn't feel like a Leo. So it's so interesting once, I did dive very deeply into astrology to really understand how I could feel like that.
Yeah. That's so cool to me that, that was the origin of it, of like, I don't feel like my sign, and why is that? And you just kept,
and
diving
I was like,
deeper. Yeah.
When is my real family going to come and get me so I know really what my sign is?
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then last question. Finish this sentence. Practical magic is?
Practical magic is about working with mystical tools to engage more deeply with life, not to escape it, but to move through it with clarity, intention, and purpose. Really, it's about authenticity. Because if you're not authentic to yourself, you're putting the power out. You need to have the power here.
Yes. Yeah. And you got to get quiet to find what that authenticity is for you. And you got to do the work. Like we talked about. I mean, there's so many layers to this that we can't just say astrology is going to, get you exactly where you need to be. But it's like putting all the tools together in order to find a practical approach to life.
Absolutely. And it can only give you information. You have to decide. I mean, free will. You have to decide what you do with that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, if you are ready to turn stardust into strategy, continue the conversation with us inside the free community that I've created. I'll include details below. And then I'll also include contact information for Niki Rae. Is there anything related to how they can reach out to you that you'd like to include?
You'll include my Instagram and my scheduling site, and and through your platform.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
I love your platform. It's such a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
And I loved meeting you a couple weeks ago because when I read about your platform, I'm like, I literally thought of something like this a couple of months ago, and I literally think that's how I found you.
That's so amazing.
Because I was like, oh, I've got to meet you because you're
really,
brilliant.
That just makes my heart so warm, so warm. I mean, it is going to change things.
Absolutely.
And it takes all of us working toward our purpose and finding that authenticity, listening to our chart, like listening to that inner voice to direct the path to where we're going to go. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you.
Well, thank you for
Absolutely.
joining. Okay. Thanks, everybody.